East Coast Blacks here, and we're here for Premier Tier 1. Yeah, so you see we're here in the Williams, and this is gonna be, for now, I don't think I'm gonna do Premier at Baku. Probably will, probably won't, I don't know. But as of right now, we're gonna focus on this race as we are making, or try to complete this lap. And I don't know how sector one went right now. I'm just trying to put a lap together. That's really all I try to do in this league, is just put a lap together to kind of get a reference if I go for another lap, because I was planning on doing this, was 2 medium laps. I thought for tier 1 it was going to be probably softs, but you know, for right now we're just going to stick to the medium strat. So going into here, we don't really use up too much of the braking zone. Just get in there nice and easy. Like I said, just trying to settle out. But going through here, we cut the track, and we have to go for another lap. So we'll take a cool off, and we're gonna go for another lap. But coming through here, we hit the gas and we lose our wing. So we have to pit and replace that. And that is what we did. And now we're gonna go on our actual lap. So staying in 7th gear just to help slow the car down easier. And now we hit that chicane pretty nicely. But here's where one of the biggest turns for me is, I thought I hit it, at least for myself, pretty okay. It wasn't too bad, but still left a lot of time there. So going into here, say 26.5, I think that is, which isn't the best time, but it's not horrible, I guess, for my pace. So we just gotta keep it pushing. And now into one of the most scariest parts of the track, because this curve there can really upset the car. So here we just overshoot it a little too hard, so we have to kind of re-rack and do it all over again. So into here, we, you know, make a better braking zone, and
just
we
30
use
seconds
a
left
good
in
bit
the
of the
session.
curb, but we still are on for, I think, a pretty okay lap besides the hairpin. But here the curb just gets me, and I'm probably lost a tenth or two there, maybe. So here's gonna be P7, about 2/10 off Aiden, which would have been P11, but I don't think it's gonna make too much of a difference. Sorry, scratching my head, but you can see we are actually on for a really good race, because we can do the opposite strat, which is go for hards to mediums. But the thing is, I think we're gonna probably be one of the only ones to do that, because in my head that's what I'm thinking. I don't think anyone else is gonna do it. So you can see here though, we are the first of the hard runners so far. So I think this would be the right thing to do, is to start on the hard tire, and you see that is what we're going to do. So
Right, let's
you
get
know,
the
before
car up to
missing that,
temperature on this lap.
you
We're
know, just
learning the gears, so go
covering
through
the
them whenever you
tires up.
can.
But the thing is, if we get wing damage, we can't go to the hards. We're gonna have to stay on the mediums. As you see here, me checking in, there are 4 hard runners, and the best thing to do would be able to stay in all front of them, but in front of all of them. But obviously, that may be a little bit tougher than
The rest of the grid
expected.
is forming.
So
Be patient and watch for the
here we
lights.
go. We are on for 5 lights, and
at least in qualifying.
they have started as 5 lights are out, and here we go for the Singapore Grand Prix. So into turn 1, I'm just thinking let's be patient here, not try to get too much. But there is an incident as people just got stuck together. Then there's a McLaren around, so it's already starting to pop off. And yeah, we just took it easy, and it paid off. So you know, we had to let the McLaren go because I knew there was really no point in battling. He was just going to be super aggressive to get by. So I knew I had to just let him go. But now we are going to just chill out here and just try to stay in the DRS. But luckily they are kind of stacking up in front, so it shouldn't be too hard to stay in the DRS. And you see Doug is struggling with grip a bit. I'm also kind of struggling with grip, obviously, being on the hard tire. And yeah, but the good thing is, like I said, we are the first of the hard runners, which we want to be. But this strat is going to be very OP if we stick with the leaders. So that's just what we do. Is we get our first warning, and yeah, so already on lap 1 getting a warning, which isn't good. But luckily going through or coming to in the first lap, we need to see if we can stay in DRS, because obviously that's what you want to do, is stay in the DRS. I felt a podium could be on for the cars, or at least a top 5. That was what my head was thinking, if we can just stay in the DRS. But as you can see, we are staying in the DRS, but it is very, very hard to keep up. And you can see I'm having to use a lot of my ERS to stay with these guys. So going on to, I think, further into the lap, as we are going to come to one of the most trickiest parts of the track. But moving on later in the lap, Vihu starts slowing down a lot, and actually breaks us away kind of from the main group, because Vihu actually got damaged. So that is just gonna drag him and us farther away from this group ahead. So now we have to push a bit, because the hard tires, I did feel a bit faster even with these hard tires, but I knew that I just couldn't really get close because I kept making mistakes. But I think right now I'm on 2 warnings, so on lap 6 we were on 2 warnings, but I was going to challenge here, but there is no point. I have no ERS, and he can probably put me back in the DRS zone. So we just let B&B go. No point to fight him, as he's really not even who we're fighting right now. We're just going to lose time, and we don't need to lose time right now. So, and speaking of that, I'm actually going to let one of the championship contenders go in Fruitful. We're going to let him go, so we let both Alphas go. Now we have the Alpine Tanbar, who was on the same strat as us. And I probably should have fought Fruitful a little harder, but yeah, I think I made the right decision. And Tanbar, we actually lost DRS, so Tanbar is going to go by. And Tanbar had a lot of pace. I felt my pace in the hards was just starting to kind of go away. For some reason, like next, after like lap 3 or 4, it just kind of didn't feel like I was getting the pace out of the tires anymore. But going on to here, some medium runners are in the pits, and Calcis, he's in the pits. So one of the top runners on the hard goes onto the hard tire, which honestly I thought was pretty early, but yet again, we are gonna have to pit, so why not get yourself a bit of an undercut while you can. But still, I thought that was pretty early. But now moving on to the next lap, we have more medium runners into the pits, as Perez is in the pits, Doug Trio's in the pits. So we are just going to keep it moving, as still so many runners have stayed out. So moving on to the next lap again, as you also see Tambar has a 3-second penalty. Well, actually, you see Tambar is struggling, and Fruitful also has a 3-second penalty, but into here, Tambar makes a big mistake, and I knew I couldn't be stuck behind him, so I'm just going to go by and yeah, just not lose that much time. I already lost enough time going side by side with him, so I just had to get by. As B&B and Victor
There's been an incident on track.
cutting the
Officials
third
aren't looking to push for a
latest
safety car right
medium
now.
runner's
Just
pit,
be
but now
careful.
we're on to the last medium runner, Cali Rob, who I believe is just trying to wait for a safety car. So moving on now, Cali Rob, I believe, is going to pit this lap. No, he's not. So he's actually long gone. Sorry, but you see FRL Charlie left the session, but he was actually someone that spun that was ahead of me. So we basically gained a position confirmed. If
Yep, you got wing damage.
because he spun out. So Cali Rob or Fruitful was in the pits, but you saw when I was talking about Charlie, the gap to Fruitful was 6 seconds. It went down to 5.4 because he got wing damage and was losing a lot of time. So we are now up to second and the leaders are closing in, but I'm not too worried about that. I'm just trying to get to lap either 18 or 19 as Cali Rob is into the pits, which was actually a really good strat for him because he can get a little bit fresher tires compared to his competitors, which I don't think will make too big of a difference because we are on the hard tire, but you never know, anything can make a difference. So the leader Perez is starting to catch up. Well, the net leader is starting to catch up. So I knew I was gonna have to defend if just in case anything happens, like a safety car or anything happens. And that was my thought process, is just try to stay in front of them just in case a safety car does happen. And you can see here the DRS is just cruising him up to me, and I knew here I was going to be under attack on the straight, so I'm not using any battery till now to try to build as much of a gap as I can, but I think he used it too. So moving on to the straight now, I'm trying to use to keep in front, and I should have went defensive, but I actually didn't go defensive. I wish I went defensive there because I wanted to hang on for a bit longer. As you see his light flashing, so we could have hung on, we could have hold on, but you see a Mercedes retires on track, and that means a safety car is now out.
The marshals have managed to clear it up in time, and there are
So
no plans for a safety car.
this is big because now the strategy works so well because we get the pit for the mediums, but we also gain a bunch of positions because of this. So this is good. This is really good. But even better for that, I was thinking, okay, we're gonna be P2 here, but
I knew it!
I was hoping we could get in front of Perez.
Go, exit now. We're racing on the exit.
But you see,
Please, go
Fruitful and Cali
Oh,
Rob
this is a dub.
stayed
Oh,
out.
this is a dub!
So
Let's go!
we're gonna be
That was our
P4
last
here,
stop. No more
which
scheduled pit
is
stops.
really good for us because Perez won't be able to get away and build any gaps. So we should be able to hang on to him and come into the restart. I was waiting for Cali Rob to go, but Checo has a bit of a
Green flag. Green
bad
flag.
entry
We're
because he
racing
ended really shallow. So we're actually gonna race him into turn one. I was not gonna just blend over. I was gonna race him regardless because I knew I had to be the first medium runner, and we actually cleared him to my surprise.
Oh.
So we are in third place in a really, really good position. So
Let's go!
we're
Come
gonna use the
on!
ERS here because I know they're gonna use the ERS behind me. The plan was not to use it, but we don't use as much. We don't want to use a bit, so a good chunk, but not too much. Well, it was quite a bit, but still some left over. So Fruitful has a 3-second time penalty, but I can't say I am on 2 warnings myself, so I have to keep it clean here. And yeah, now I was starting to think could I set them up for here, but I realized I couldn't do it. But here, I completely messed up my braking point, and I hit Fruitful. That was not by design. I just didn't want to hit the back of them, so I had to go to the inside, and I almost got the wing damage. Luckily, though, I backed out. So you'll see a lap later, we are in the same spot, and coming through here, we're trying to set it up, but we get a time penalty as we are trying to set Fruitful up for the main straight, and then the second straight, because DRS is going to be active. But now we have to push. We got to push as we get another warning. So now we only need 2 more warnings for a 6-second time penalty. But going on to here, I noticed I'm going to pass Fruitful because Cali Rob is still ahead. There's just nothing I can do. But we get another warning. So we get 3 warnings in less than half a lap. So now we were really down here, because now we're basically in the same position, but now we're basically about to get 6 seconds now. So Fruitful is going to go for the move, and he is going to pass Cali Rob. So now I need Fruitful to build a gap so I can pass Cali Rob and hopefully get him. But Cali Rob doesn't really get a good turn there, so we are right on the back. But the question is, does he get DRS? And he does not. So you saw me using the battery. I was kind of trying to set him offline, but he wasn't really falling for it. So you know, if I actually committed to that, it would have been really ugly, because I do commit a lot. But going through here, we are going to attack him because I need to get by. I don't need to be stuck behind him. So we are going to make the move, and we are up into second place. But we still need to build up that 3-second gap as Dirt Trio retires in the pits. But Cali Rob and Perez are side by side. And this is good because it's just costing them time. But we need Cali Rob to stay ahead so we can gain even more time. And they are fighting like crazy. And they actually are. Cali Rob is going to stay ahead, but you can kind of see here the gap to Fruitful is 1.6 seconds. I was expecting Fruitful to just drive away, but you can see here we're kind of gaining a bit on him. I forgot he actually was on a bit older medium tires, because he put it on, I think, lap 15, 13, or 15, 14, 15. I put it on like 3 laps earlier because of the safety car. So yeah, this is actually worked out very good for us. But you can see the gap is now 2.1 to Cali Rob, but it is less than a second now to Fruitful. So we are trying to pull the unthinkable and win this race as T-Mike retires from the session. So both McLarens are out. We are trying to pull the impossible, and we are in the DRS now. We have DRS, so now all it's about is just getting by, because Cali Rob is just losing more and more time. So it's just about if he can stay ahead of checkup in the DRS zones. But going through here, I turned in too early and I hit the wall, and that was a crushing blow, I must say. So I just pit and go for the fastest lap. That was a really crushing blow, because we were in the prime position to win this race.
Can't believe I did that, man. Can't believe I did that. Oh my gosh, that
crazy.
Was a win, man. That was a win.
What a roller coaster of a
me.
race, but we're just not gonna get it done today, sadly. So it happens,
that's so
but you're just gonna have to move on about it.
Upsetting.
And you know, we still had the tier 1 race, but I was annoyed. So we're going to start this lap go for fastest lap. We charged our battery up a bit, but Perez has actually gotten past Kylie Robb and Fruitful, so he does have the race win right now. And me, I'm just gonna go for fastest lap. I've got nothing else to lose. We don't really use up too much battery because we still know we're gonna need some left. So this hit a purpose at the one, and this race was just a good show of racecraft and race management. So I knew the hard tires could be a good strategy if I could just keep my nose clean, don't get penalties, and just stay out of trouble, which we did all the way to like 5 to go, which was unfortunate to say the least. Definitely didn't want that to happen, but it happened. So what can you do? And now we are setting a purpose at 2, which I honestly did not think this race was going to go as well as it did. I wish it ended better, but you can always have it nice. So yeah, part of it. Not everything is meant to go your way, and today it just didn't. You know, I was trying to get that premier podium, but yeah, I couldn't do it. So going into the final corner, we do set the fastest lap.
Good job. That was
But
the
we're gonna
fastest.
skip to the end here, as Kylie Robb is actually the one who won the race. Checo crossed it first, but he had a penalty, and I hit the wall because I didn't care about turning and going through here. We're gonna finish P11 in Singapore. So yeah, definitely not the way we wanted to end the race, but we still got tier 1. We still have more races in Premier. Congrats to Kylie Robb on the win. You know, I was a little annoyed that happened, but we were set up to win that race, but just didn't do the right things to get it done. So frustrating, but it's on my doing. So yeah, just gonna have to move on and get ready for probably Baku, the Premier. That may be my next race, Baku or Jeddah. At least it's the plan, because people are starting to race less and less in Premier. So yeah, we're gonna call it here and see you guys later. Tier 1 video will be coming out Friday, but hope you all enjoyed, and see you Friday.